The Space Coast economy is booming. And high-tech companies ranging from major firms like SpaceX and L3 Harris to rapidly growing small businesses all share the same thing: a need for skilled workers to fill their ranks and fuel more growth. Eastern Florida State College is playing a central role in that effort by educating a new generation of high-tech workers that are changing the face of Brevard County's future. With career and technical programs such as aerospace and engineering technology, robotics, cybersecurity, and more, EFSC graduates are bringing state-of-the-art skills to the workplace. It's a top priority of College President Dr. Jim Ritchie, with some EFSC programs becoming state models for developing a high-tech workforce. One of EFSC's key partners is the Economic Development Commission of Florida's Space Coast, whose leaders see the college's programs as essential in tackling workforce shortages and attracting new companies.
How the EDC and Eastern Florida partners has been transformative over the last few years. At first, I think it was us being aware they're on the board, they're aware of what we do, we're aware of what they do, and this is great. But as the need for training and workforce is ever increasing demands, so has our relationship with Eastern Florida gotten far more sophisticated.
Eastern Florida State College works closely with the Economic Development Commission to help ensure existing and new businesses have the workforce they need. We meet with local businesses and those looking to relocate to the area to understand their needs and make sure our curriculum is consistent with those needs.
A prime example of where the college's efforts are paying off is at Kennedy Space Center, where commercial space companies are reinventing human spaceflight. Among them is Lockheed Martin, where EFSC students in aerospace technology serve apprenticeships, doing hands-on work on the Orion spacecraft that will take astronauts back to the moon and on journeys to Mars.
The apprenticeship program, as part of a two-year degree, allows students to be selected and literally work with us here on the floor developing and building the Orion spacecraft. And that is their foot in the door. It's great for us. Eastern Florida State College brings that talent forward from the pipeline and gives them a landing spot so that the team can literally hit the ground running. And it's been a great partnership, and we really do appreciate that. When I think about the mechanics and the technicians that come from Eastern Florida State College and into our floor, the historic operational checkout facility where we literally built Apollo many years ago, we're now building the Orion spacecraft. The folks that come through here are literally conducting the final assembly and checkout of the Orion spacecraft. So when you think about it, they're literally being able to put their fingerprints in space. They are the team that, while many folks are working around the world in all of our supply chain houses around the world, these folks here are literally building that foundation and sending their fingerprints into space. And I think that's pretty special.
I'm a test engineer with Lockheed Martin, so I help run tests on the vehicle. We make it perform exactly as it will be in space. So at Eastern Florida State, I did the technician program. We had lots of hands-on classes with electrical stuff, electrical components and mechanical components. There's some science classes, and they gave us all the skills we needed to transfer over here to the Orion program, and we get to apply those every day, putting our hands on the actual hardware.
So the apprenticeship program at the time, when I was part of it, it was people who had graduated from the program, who were picked by the professors and other people in the program to come out here and work part-time, paid, to learn the skills needed to transition to a full-time position out here on the space program. Part of the reason why Eastern Florida joined up initially for the apprenticeship program was to help fill the talent gap. A lot of the people that were working out here at the time were part of the shuttle program when we were getting ready to retire, and they saw the need to bring in new people before the shuttle folks retired, so they could pass on their knowledge and their skill sets.
Homegrown talent, specifically when it comes to technicians, is the best kind of talent. Usually Eastern Florida allows the groundwork, kind of the bedrock for what we'd like to bring in, and then we're able to build them up here and really give them the skill sets necessary to be productive citizens. The technicians that we hire are the people that do all the work on the vehicle. They're the hands-on eyes and ears for our engineers, and they are the people that I always say I work for, because without them, nothing happens.
I graduated from Eastern Florida with my AA, and I was looking to go to a 4-year college to major in mechanical engineering. I started my first semester at the 4-year program, and I didn't know if it was for me, so I went back, told my mom, I was like, nah, I think I'm thinking about the Eastern Florida State program. Ended up doing that. I love the hands-on. I think it's a lot different than going to a 4-year degree first. So to get the hands-on experience, I think is much more critical.
There are always opportunities to come out here and work on the Orion program. We're constantly looking to refresh the talent pool.
The college also has a strong partnership with Airbus US Space and Defense, where EFSC apprentices and graduates are using skills they learned in mechatronics, robotics, and other fields to build a fleet of satellites at the company's KSC facility that will improve global connection to the internet.
About 35 years ago, I was an apprentice, so straight away that's something which I can automatically relate to. I think there's no better way to learn about an industry. It can be our great industry, it can be cooking, unless you do an apprenticeship program. You get in both what I would call the academic aspects of the education, but you also get in the opportunity to marry that up with practical training, and the two go hand in hand.
So the apprenticeship program is designed to have not only classroom experience, like what we call book experience or the textbook knowledge, which is what's provided through Eastern Florida. And then we went through mechatronics apprenticeship courses, which were on the job or hands-on training through different trainers. So we had electrical trainers, mechanical trainers, pneumatics, and many more.
So in the mechatronics lab, we get to learn about AC/DC circuits, hydraulic systems, pneumatic systems, mechanical systems, and system integration using a control panel, and etc. And all those, what we learned in the lab, we were able to apply that out of the workplace. We have all those systems in place in our workplace, and if there's any troubleshooting that needs to be done, we're able to be hands-on, jump into it, find the problem, find the solution, and then fix it right away. And it's pretty amazing and cool that what we learn in the college and the lab, we're able to apply it in workplace, and there isn't a lot of training that needs to be done because we already have the knowledge.
I got started in the apprenticeship program because a family friend of ours found the listing online. So I applied online and they picked me up, asked me to do an interview. I came through an interview and then here I am today. So before I started working here, I definitely thought aerospace was really interesting. I grew up on the Space Coast, so I grew up always watching the rocket launches and everything. And I always thought that maybe I could, but I thought it was so far away because nobody really talks about the other jobs in aerospace. They always really just mention astronaut and launch tech and all of these things. So it was never really on my mind. And then I realized how many different jobs there are that I can go into.
We started working in manufacturing very shortly after we became employed and very shortly after we joined the apprenticeship. It was almost an immediate turnaround of joining the apprenticeship, becoming an employee, and working on satellites. So 18 years old, right out of high school, I was manufacturing satellites, and we actually had our first launch from our Merritt Island built satellites just a couple days before my 19th birthday. So 18 years old, I had 36 satellites up in space that I helped build.
If I look back to the apprenticeship program, it's not just an apprenticeship program for us, for EFFC, it's a number of local industries coming together. And why I think that's important is because there might be a problem that I have in the future, but I'm used to looking at that problem in a particular way. If I have a network of organisations which can look at it in a slightly different dimension, either a greater volume, different attributes of performance, then that's going to get me to solve the problem quicker. So it's not purely the academic, which is important, it's not purely the application, but it's bringing all that together with a network of people and organisations who've rolled it out in practice.
At Melbourne Orlando International Airport, the aerospace corporation Embraer is building executive jets using a pipeline of graduates from the college's aircraft maintenance and power plant program.
It's very important to Embraer to have local skilled workforce because it's what we draw from. It's part of our community. It's part of what makes us who we are. We're excited to be able to say that we're based here on the Space Coast. And I think many people don't know that when we decided to place our Global Customer Center and our production lines here in Melbourne, it was the same year that the shuttle stopped and had its last flight. So we were really excited to be able to leverage the workforce that remained here in Brevard County. Embraer and the Embraer Foundation work with Eastern Florida State College in a couple of ways. The company actually works with the college to recruit amazing talent. The aviation maintenance program and aerospace programs are two of the key entities that we recruit from, but we also recruit beyond that. We've got individuals that work for the company that got their HR degree from Eastern Florida State College and other degrees. The foundation works with the college in a very different way. We support the college with grants, and typically those grants either go to support students that are in the aviation maintenance program so that their testing is covered, their FAA testing, or we do community programming around aviation because we want to inspire the next generation of aviators, and we're able to do that in partnership with the college.
Common thread for high-tech firms is a demand for technicians trained in advanced manufacturing. And here too, EFSC is a leading supplier of those workers.
Any company that's going to be successful is going to be involved in advanced manufacturing. So advanced manufacturing is key to us because the companies that exist here that particularly have to supply the Department of Defense in many ways demand that. So we have got to be involved and be ready with a workforce in advanced manufacturing.
When we look at advanced manufacturing as a whole, there's many different industries that can support an apprenticeship program like this because they all need machinists, they all need mechatronics technicians, they all need fiber composite technicians, or a majority of them do. Welding, they all need that, and more and more they're starting to need additive manufacturing, the area that we're getting into.
Eastern Florida State College has a very important role because it's located in a key area, very strategic and very powerful for the future. The Space Coast area is bringing forth many companies are moving to this area. They need technicians, they need engineers, they need people that will be able to work with them and be able to bring forth the new technologies, put together satellites, put together rockets, put together systems for the future.
Every local company here that we deal with, our industry partners, they are starving for young talent. The reason why this is such a high demand, in my opinion, there's unfortunately a lot of people my age that are retiring, and there is a shortage of the skilled trades. So the students that graduate from here, our companies are ready to hire them as soon as they're ready to go.
We live in a digital age, which makes it crucial to protect data from industrial espionage, ransomware, and other threats. On EFSC's Palm Bay campus, the Center for Cybersecurity and Digital Forensics is providing digital detectives for area companies. Its programs carry impressive credentials, with the center having gained the prestigious designation from the National Security Agency as a National Center of Academic Excellence in Cybersecurity.
In 2022, we were designated as an NSA Center for Academic Excellence, and that means that we provide the labs and the curriculum that the NSA deems worthy of a cybersecurity institution. And with that designation now, our students know that they're getting the best education possible in our area for cybersecurity, and it helps open them up to different job opportunities. There are specific jobs that only employers will allow a CAE student or alumni to apply for, so that helps that.
Cybersecurity is also a very important area for us, and we're constantly modifying our programs to meet local industry needs. Whether it's securing personal data or working in teams with Department of Defense companies, we try to ensure our graduates have the recognized industry credentials required to be successful in the workplace.
Having the NSA certification allows employers to see that the cybersecurity program has been peer-reviewed by the NSA, and that allows our program to stand above a lot of others in the country that do not have the certification because they do not have the same quality that we've been able to achieve.
Certification, highly recommend, especially if you're going to try to go for one of those big DoD companies like L3 Harris or such. You really need to get your Security Plus certification. It's gotten to the point where, like, if you don't have your Security Plus certification, it's kind of hard to get inside there, but you're still being looked at because of the fact that your degree literally shows that you are, it's a STEM degree and you have a specialization in cybersecurity.
You know, it doesn't matter what business that you're involved with, you are conducting business through the net. And there's so many factors out there where you need competent people that can protect your network, protect your databases. I don't think you can turn on the news on any given week and not hear about identity leaks and databases being compromised. So we have cybersecurity programs at the bachelor's level. We also have networking programs at the AS level that are designed to help people learn how to be proficient at cybersecurity. You'll learn what threats look like and what a SOC is, which is, you know, you'll learn that in our program. You'll be put in an environment where once you're done and you go work in the real world, you'll be in the exact same environment that we prepared for you here at Eastern Florida State. So you'll be comfortable, you'll know your way around a cyber environment. The last advisory board, there was a great discussion on AI and how important that is and what future partners are looking for. And so that gets us thinking with our classes, hey, how do we want to steer cybersecurity? How does AI and cybersecurity connect? You know, how can we leverage cybersecurity using AI or vice versa? What are some of the threats out there that AI can pose on a system? You know, that's something that our industry partners see on a daily basis and tell us that they want us to tweak our curriculum, tweak our program, so our students are prepared to deal with those threats right away.
We just announced STARCOM coming here. It was a competitive site location by the U.S. Space Force. It's the Strategic Training and Readiness Command. That will put us on the map in the world as we as a country, not just a community, retain and expand our space dominance for force protection. Everything for as Readiness Center will be done right here in Brevard County. So the role of cybersecurity is going to be even more profound with the demands that are going to take place. And it's also just a growing field anyway. And if you look at what we have in regards to the defense companies we have here, defense intelligence companies that we have here, cyber is very important. This will just knock it out of the park, this STAR Command.
Currently today, there's around 600,000 open positions in cybersecurity. So we are at a crisis mode for looking for those individuals who have experience in cyber, experience in IT in general. In Brevard County, there's around 2,000 open positions, and in Florida itself, about 32,000, according to cyberseek.org. So those are rough estimates, and it's also based on what type of people are have certain certifications and those open positions that they're looking at different job placement websites.
High-tech education requires the latest in high-tech facilities, and Eastern Florida is building on its success by investing in major new training centers. On the Melbourne campus, construction is starting on a new $20 million center for innovative technology education. This facility will set a regional standard for tailored programs to meet the specific workforce needs of high-tech companies. On the Cocoa campus, a new advanced technology center is taking shape for training in a range of programs focusing on the needs of commercial space companies. And on the Titusville campus, a new aerospace center of excellence has opened its doors with the first class of dual-enrolled high school students getting a jump start on their careers.
It's not as high maintenance as an actual dual enrollment class, so you're able to get a feel for it if you want to do this. And also, the aerospace program is so hands-on that you're able to learn as you go, and the professors are always willing to help you out, and you feel like you're able to talk to them. Being able to take aerospace classes through dual enrollment is just amazing, and I'm so happy I'm here for it.
The great thing about Eastern Florida State College is we prepare students to go in right away and get their hands dirty, fill jobs that industry needs. There are a lot of other great schools out there in the area, and they teach a lot of theoretical things, and that's great. But you need people to deal with the nuts and bolts of building and manufacturing and programming, the people who get their hands dirty. And we teach the theoretical stuff too, but we also prepare our students for the day-to-day work, the things that industry needs, getting their hands dirty and being compensated well for.
We need as much help as we can get in outreach to students, the local residents, the parents especially, knowing that there's an alternative pathway for their students coming out of high school. And returning vets and others that are transitioning from the military, those are also great resources that can be applied to a local need here.
The EDC has an obligation, as strong as we do corporate relocation, of providing some part of addressing the need for workforce development and have the availability of an effectively trained workforce now and a dynamic future in workforce training.
Eastern Florida State College offers programs on each of our 4 campuses and online to meet local workforce needs. Whether it's associate or bachelor's degrees, short-term training certificates, industry certifications, or customized training for business and industry, we strive to give our students multiple options to meet local workforce needs.
From one end of the Space Coast to the other, EFSC is the go-to place for high-tech education and training. As the demand for skilled workers keeps increasing, the college will continue to work with its industry partners to ensure the workforce is second to none.
Affirmative. I have a threat from green light. Lock stacking secured. Lock stacking secured. Lock star tank pressurized.
I still don't know if I've fully wrapped my head around the enormity of working on the Orion project. It's manned space flight. We're going back to the moon, and to think that I have a part of that is a lot.
So of the 618 satellites that we have in orbit, I was here and helped with 612 of them. All the ones that were produced here in our Maritime Island facility.
At Eastern Florida State College, the sky is truly the limit.